Welcome back to Project Independence in You, Senior Talk Radio, 88.1 FM and WCWP.org. Your host for the day, Rebecca Miller, and co-host Otto Lohse. And now it is time for Talk of the Town with Kristina Liu, who is the radio show producer extraordinaire. It's just the truth. And I just want to say a great segment before, great guest, Kristina, as usual, timely, and, you know, a lot of information. We probably could have gone on for hours and hours, but, you know, I know you'll have him back, and we're probably doing chats and things like that with the town. So back to us, Talk of the Town, a lot of things going on. We're in our 11th, starting out our 11th year with Project Independence in You. That was a great celebration last week. That was so much fun, talking about 10 years of Project Independence in You, all produced by Kristina on 88.1 FM, WCWP.org, our great director of the station, Dan Cox. So all these years, and it's the same team, and of course, Otto Lohse, greatest co-host of them all. And so what's going on in the town, and what's good? I know we have a lot going on this weekend too.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on, which is very good, in North Hempstead. It certainly has not slowed down. I just want to say, as in regards to our previous guest, Barry Klitzberg, who we've been working with for years, and he really, the way that he helps you to understand such a complex issue involving Medicare, because the problem is too, and Otto and I always say that it's so tailored to your individual situation, right. So what might be good for you is not good for me, so it's a whole thing. But he really is so clear, and the fact that it's a free program that you can call and get that help, it's such a service that I think everyone should really utilize. So I just want to repeat the number that he gave. That's 516. If I had it in front of me, we'd be in luck. I have 10,000 papers. If you only saw my thing, here we go. 516-485-3754. We'll also have it up on the screen when you watch us on video too. But please get connected to Barry, because he is just absolutely amazing. And on top of that, we are having a phone appointment. We did this last year, and it worked out very, very well in regards to Medicare Part D. We've been partnered with St. John University, the pharmacy department, on this.
Right.
And normally in the past, pre-COVID, obviously we would be in person, they'd be sitting, but we found out that the phone appointments worked really just as well. So that is very, we're happy about that. So you're able to start making reservations for this. It's going to be November 9th and November 16th. You just call, you'll make an appointment sometime between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. One of our nurses will reach out to you, and they just ask that you have a list of all your medications, and they'll look it up, and you'll kind of collaborate, and they'll tell you what works best for you. And every year I'm blown away with the amount of money that is saved by doing these programs. That we always get like some big number at the end telling you what everyone's added up to be, and it's so important.
Wow.
To do. So I just want to remind people to do that. And then I was actually thinking, Barry's segment would be so great. Obviously, you'll be able to see it sometime next week on North Hempstead TV. You can watch that. It'll be on our website and on the WCWP YouTube page. So I was thinking it'd be a great thing to send around the YouTube link also. So I was doing a mental note to myself, because I think it's so helpful. So that's about Medicare. Obviously, we're full in swing. And I like that today is the day that information got released. It's like we're really hot off the press right here. But that is coming up. So
Kristina,
yes.
I'm sorry, but you just said something that rang a bell with me about the YouTube link.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're aware of it, just chatting here, of course, but we still have the TV show on from the end of August. That's what's on TV right now.
They might just be repeating it. I mean, they get it every year. Unfortunately, that's kind of a North Hempstead TV call. But we can ask them, and they get it.
But if we had a YouTube link.
You know what? They're actually up to date. because
On the website.
the first in September, there wasn't a video for that. The guests didn't want a video, and then we have they haven't uploaded the new one yet, so they will be coming. So they might be, but the YouTube link is there, and it's always on our PI website. As soon as we get the videos, our IT, everyone, just have patience for everyone, and they'll be up there as soon as it. But the YouTube link I like on WCWP YouTube page because it's very easy to share YouTube stuff. So it's
Kristina.
everywhere. If anyone has any questions, they could always call 311 or 869-6311, and we can we can do it. So
Yeah. One of the things you had just said about, today was the day that, all the, I guess the updates came out. They went live on the site, and right now our listeners, they can only listen to the radio. They're not going to see this yet. But did you get a sense that they were like, couldn't wait for the show to get over so they could get Barry? Because it seemed like, like you kept putting the phone on, the call on mute, and then he would be like talking to someone frantically. I can only imagine the number of calls coming in right now when something.
I know, that's why we had to snag him first, get him on the show.
Good thing it was just a few more minutes that he had to go.
But it's really wonderful, and it's just so nice to have someone like him, and work so closely with Project Independence for so many years. And obviously there's a whole bunch of other financial advisors too, in that department that could help you. But
the big thing there is he's not selling anything.
Yeah.
You get advice from a lot of people who are selling something. They sell, in the end, bottom line is they are trying to sell you whatever it is they sell. They may give you advice, but it's directed toward what they sell.
Right, you're so right. And that's what's so nice about working with this it's a community-based organization,
Barry's not selling. He's only advising.
So you're actually able to kind of get, something without any strings attached.
And he knows so much. If all the people in the office know what he knows naturally, you really got to call them, because and I agree, Kristina. I'm always a little confused about it. And when we started out with the basics and just kind of built up, it really it made sense. But it still gets
it's complicated, of course.
But they know their stuff. It's just like if somebody calls any of us who've been with Project Independence team for 15 to 10 years, whatever, we know it so well. We can ramble things off, but just like him with, the Medicare stuff, it's like, definitely call them, take advantage of this, because they really can help and get you to do the best for yourself. You're
right.
Like,
and plus, and that's the thing
is
it changes every year, so it's something that you really need to, what worked last year might not work this year because something, so there's so many little factors that go into it. So it's always, and listen, and maybe you'll end up being, okay, the plan I have is the best. And that's great.
Maybe you're not the person who's on Medicare. Maybe you're helping a friend.
Exactly.
Your mother, your father, your grandmother, or whoever. And you can get the knowledge that you need to be able to guide them. Like Evelyn, your mother obviously is on Medicare. She's almost my age. Someday she's going to catch up, but
she's just a kid. Come on.
I know the feeling. But the point being that this knowledge is not only for people who are on Medicare. It really is valuable for people who might be helping people who are on Medicare, friend, family, whoever. Maybe
it's so true. That's a great point, Otto, because even for myself, my mom is still working. She every day struggles with the idea of like when to retire and whatnot, and but she was saying once she's got great health insurance, so obviously she'll have that. But then it's to supplement and figure out what parts to use for Medicare. So it's something that she's like, I want to sit down with you and go over it. Listen, I'm going to probably give her Barry's number.
But absolutely.
But, it's something, you're right, Otto, there's a lot of people. And I think because it is so complicated and, it is easier sometimes when you have access to a computer. So it falls a lot on, a caregiver or, a friend or a neighbor, whoever it might be, to kind of help the person who, is trying to apply for it.
Well, it can be overwhelming to some people.
Yeah, of course.
It requires digging into details.
And Otto, your point about Evelyn too, I mean, they're she's someone who is, savvy about Medicare, about seniors aging in place, as we all know, former commissioner, and just her entire experience. And there have been times, I would say more a few years back where there were problems. Maybe it was with her medication. I just remember her on the phone, and it was just, that she wanted to stay on a generic on a name brand that had been working and didn't want to stop. Everything was going fine. And when they recommended the generic, I don't know if it was blood pressure, her blood pressure started going up. So she wanted to go back to the generic. I think that was the case, something in that way. It was an impossible task. This was, a few years back. So I'm thinking, imagine if she could have called Barry, or like even thought to, it would have saved so much angst, but so it doesn't matter who you are, what level you are. I mean,
of course.
You even learned a lot today, about the process, and, people that have been on Medicare for quite a while. So yeah, it's good.
It's complicated, but listen, you could always call them directly, or you can call 311 or 869-6311 and get connected to our social worker, who could then connect you to Barry, whatever it might be. So great interview, guys. And obviously I said, stay tuned for more information on the whole Medicare open enrollment stuff. But Beck, as you had mentioned, this weekend is the Fall Family Festival.
Yes, it is.
It's going to be Saturday, October 2nd at 12 p.m. from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. over at North Hempstead Beach Park. It looks, I don't want to jinx anything, but it appears to be nice weather tomorrow, last I heard. So for the community services department, I know that's been quite the challenge for a couple of past events. So this looks like it should be great. And it looks like it's going to be such a lovely event. There's a whole bunch of different activities. There's arts and crafts, bouncy slides. There's a trackless train ride, a petting zoo, pumpkin decorating. There's going to be a whole bunch of different princesses and superhero characters. There'll be live music, food and refreshments will be there. So I love this event because I think it's great for all ages, and it sounds like a great time. I'm going to try and get over there tomorrow with some of the little people in my life.
I hope to see you there. I'm going to be managing the stage, and you had mentioned, there is so much entertainment also, Kristina. They have this great EJ the DJ. He does all of our events lately when we do, subcontract out. They're a great team. Bach to Rock, which is a fantastic local music school where the kids will be playing.
Oh, great.
Tim Kubert band, he's a blast. They played at all the previous kid festivals. And, I think EJ the DJ will be kind of emceeing and closing out, and there'll be prizes, I'm sure. Just sounds like a wonderful.
Beck, I like how you said I'm managing the stage. Beck
I'll be at the stage if anybody wants to come say hi.
She sounded quite like the concert tour director over there. I like that.
Will you be on the stage or behind the stage?
Yes, if someone doesn't show up, Beck will have to just do some stand-up or sing or something.
Yeah, you'll know me. I'll have a clipboard. That will be mine.
I like that. She'll have a blank clipboard of.
I'll have a clipboard, and it'll have nothing on either side of it.
Now, Beck, there's food trucks as well, right? Is that what there's going to be a couple of different food trucks, I believe?
I do believe so. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that there'll be food because it is a all day.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. And, it sounds like a lovely time. There'll be games and, you're on the water. And like you said, the weather does look good. I feel safe saying that. And that comes from someone who, with Fun Day Monday, we had to cancel the last two because of inclement weather and heat. So yeah.
But I think it's a really fun kind of fall activity, and like I said, I'm rounding up my my cousin's little girls because I want to get the whole troop over there because I think it'd be fun for them. So hopefully that all works out. Trying to round up the extended family is a little bit of a task sometimes, but we're gonna try and make it work. But on top of that, there's so many other fall activities that are going on. There is going to be a fall plant sale over at Clark Botanic Garden. That's on October 8th. From 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and October 9th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. There's going to be ornamental kale, cabbage, peppers, pansies, Montauk daisies, trees and shrubs. All the money that's raised goes to Fannie Dwight Clark Memorial Garden. And there's also, which I like, on top of plants, there's going to be some jewelry there, some fall decorations, raffles, a farm stand, a gift shop. I'm sold on the gift shop. But I think it's nice, it's the weather, I think we've hit to get into like the fall feels of the fall. The weather has been kind of transitioning into that. And I know even my own house, I was talking to my husband today. I said, we have to go to Hicks. It's like time. It's time to get the corn stalks, the mums. I'm fully embracing, fall decor. My house is decorated for fall. We're going to transition to Halloween, next week.
It's supposed to go up to 80 on Sunday.
Really?
Yes, really.
All right, cool. I like it. See, I'll take a cool breeze and then like a blast of heat. I'm down for it.
I have my jet tailgating gathering on Sunday.
Perfect.
So it might be a little warm, actually.
That's great. Listen, I'll take warm over cold, winter any day. So
I may have to put a fan in the garage.
I'm doing something exciting on Sunday.
What are you doing?
I am going with my mom, my son, and my brother and his wife. We're going to Gage and Tollner in downtown Brooklyn, which is, I think, one of the oldest restaurants in the city of New York. It's very, very old school. It was closed for a couple of years. It is such an experience.
Cool.
What's the name of it? Repeat that again.
Gage and Tollner.
Okay.
You need reservations. They're only open like 4 or 5 days. It's dark when you walk in. It's very serious. I think you need to wear a jacket. It's the total you feel like you're in a different century in there. You really do. It's lit by candles on the wall, and it's in a very old building. It's just a really interesting, very cool experience. So I will be, live on Facebook from Gage and Tollner. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I hope to see pictures, Beth. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Where in Brooklyn is that?
Downtown Brooklyn on Fulton Street.
Okay.
Yeah. So you could actually walk there from the Brooklyn Bridge if you wanted to. It's just you go right down J Street and you kind of
That's like the Dumbo areas on the other side of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Dumbo's down under. Yeah, that's under, but you'd be walking more into Brooklyn. You'd be going down J Street into Fulton.
Right.
Which is, where there's a lot of stores now. And
that whole
like
area.
Metro Tech area too, near the school, the New York City school board. Yeah. And
we're rapidly approaching this. I want to remind people that we have a Halloween dance that's going to be on October 29th over at Clingy Martin Park, and it's outdoors, which should be a lot of fun. There's a lot of other programs. Just call 311 or 516-869-6311.
And we will be right back after taking a quick break. You're listening to Project Independence and You with Talk of the Town with Kristina Liu. We'll be right back.
So I get this call from my grandma, and she's like,
"What's a podcast and how much does it cost?"
So I tell her, podcasts are like radio shows, but you can download them on any device and listen to them anywhere at any time, and they're free. And then she says,
"I see, but where can you find good ones?"
And I'm like, go to wcwp.org/podcast and check out the lineup of original shows, or download any podcast app on your phone or tablet and search for LIU Studios. And she's all like,
"Oh, that sounds easy."
And then she asked me what an app is.
LIU Studios podcasts, available on any podcast app. Those little button things on your phone screen. Just ask your grandkids.
And welcome back to Project Independence and You, Talk of the Town, with the fabulous Kristina Liu and also co-host Otto Lohse. We're just learning a lot what's going on in the town, and a great first hour all about Medicare updates, and we're now going to continue talking about some stuff that's going on in the town. What are the things, Kristina?
Well, we're going to take a little hiatus on that because we have some other, the show's full of surprises, as we know. So we're going to just bring in some little surprises, because that's how we roll on the show. And we'll see how it goes.
Hello,
Hi, Grandpa.
How did you manage this?
I don't know. I was lucky to be invited.
And we just brought in some surprises for Otto.
Very nice.
Happy
Otto,
birthday.
Happy birthday, Otto.
Happy birthday.
That is a surprise, let me
Happy
tell you.
birthday.
Very
Happy
nice.
birthday.
That's the only way
Oh,
I can
Uncle
get him
Eric,
to watch.
very fancy.
What do I got? Oh, I don't even know what that is.
Show.
Oh, nice.
This is probably the only show they listen to all year.
So this is the talk of the town. We are now calling the Otto Lohse birthday celebration family awareness segment.
Well, very nice. Thank you.
So who do we all have here? And tell us how you know Otto. Let's start with Jennifer.
Me?
No.
She's a
There's two of
social
us.
worker too,
Oh,
by
there's
the
two.
way.
Yeah, so I am his granddaughter. Yes.
And that's how you know him. 'Cause you were
That's, yeah,
having-
I met him a few times.
Official shout out. I was working with Jen, on coordinates. So thank you, Jen, for pulling this off, getting the
Of
troops.
course.
I texted her and she immediately said, I'm rounding up the troops. And she clearly did. So thank you for that.
Yeah, there's a lot more, but a lot of them have school and work today. So
Yes, of course.
and it would be a little overwhelming. There's a million of us.
Christina,
Jen,
would you
by
like
the
to
way,
take
is
over
a
with the
social worker
introduction?
with Meals on Wheels.
Sure. So obviously
Obviously.
we have Jen. I'm going to go in order of my little squares on me. We have Michelle. Michelle,
Hi.
what is your relation to Mr. Otto?
I am his daughter-in-law. I'm married to his son, Bill.
Oh, great.
Oh.
And
very-
of course, I see we have Bunny, who is Otto's, Bernadette, but we call her Bunny, those who love her.
I'm his better half.
That's right. And who is next to Bunny?
Another Bernadette.
Oh, I like it. We got the Bernadette square.
Very
I like
original
it.
family with the names.
I'm another daughter. Hi, Dad. Happy birthday.
Hello, Bernadette.
Oh, I love it.
You didn't
So
tell
great.
me about this in the garage.
No, I know. I didn't even tell Mom about it until 10 minutes ago.
That's
You have to go
they
get
know how to
dressed.
keep a secret, that family.
Shows you how much confidence they have in me, right?
And then we have another Jennifer. So Jennifer, how are you? Do you know Otto?
I am Otto's favorite daughter.
I love it.
Did you tell that to your sister next to you?
I'm Cindy. I'm the oldest of the six, so I am the favorite daughter.
I love it.
This may be another show. We'll have to do a who's the favorite daughter show of Otto.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll have a game show.
And then we have the baby is on here also. Oh yeah,
And then-
Eric?
In typical older sister fashion, she had to introduce me instead of letting me do it myself. So I'm Eric. I'm the youngest of all six.
Oh, thank you
Eric
guys
just
for coming
turned
on.
50 himself.
Yes.
I did.
Baby.
The youngest has creeped up there.
Yep.
So great. Well, I'm so glad. Thank you guys all for coming on. So now this
thank
is the
you for
segment where we
asking.
just, talk about Otto.
Now
Really.
they'll
Otto
all
talk.
be at the Jet game on Sunday.
Yes. Well, not really there.
And it's supposed to be 80 degrees Sunday.
Yeah, it's a little too hot for me.
Yeah, I know. So you bring
We
it
know.
in, Jen.
Mom, you can bring this. Look, this is her fan. And she puts around her.
Oh, the neck. I've
Yeah.
seen
And
those.
the neck fan. And she had like a barbecue not too long ago and she was wearing it. And people were like, are those headphones? I was like, how rude if you were at a barbecue and you're around like, yeah, I'm listening to my own music. You don't let her wear it in public.
I do wear them in public.
Well, she brings it sometimes, but not when I'm around.
What's kind of ironic on here is on my screen, at least, we have 9 squares. And don't a lot of people associate you guys to the Brady Bunch?
Yes.
All the time.
Oh, yes. Way
So
down.
I have Michelle in the middle as Alice. I don't know who else, however you guys all see it. So
Yeah.
so
She's in the middle for me too.
Now these guys, by the way, Rebecca Miller is the daughter of Evelyn Roth, who's the lady who got me involved with this. She was one of the founders of Project Independence.
Yes, she was
And,
there.
Hooray for
and
her.
Yes.
got me on the radio bit about 10 years ago.
Well, thank you
And,
for
on
keeping me
with her.
busy.
Yeah.
And I came on the show.
And her
Evelyn.
mother was
That's
on the
right.
show last
Yeah.
week.
it's a
So-
Yes,
it's a
because we
family
celebrate our
affair.
10th anniversary.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's right.
And
I was a
So my-
star once too.
That's right.
years
Jen
ago.
was on the show.
I was.
and the
My
I
mother would
graduated
like to-
college. Without that, I wouldn't have had a capstone. So.
No, that was different. Oh, wait, they lost your CD.
I was the one show in the entire history of 10 years
It was.
that my recording was
But it was
somehow.
good. But the perk was I was videotaping on the phone, so we actually
Yes.
had proof.
We did. And I
you know.
actually, I think you wrote a letter also to my professor saying
did.
it happened.
I
She's not
wasn't letting
making
it
it
go, you know, like, please.
Yeah,
anyone
yeah,
knows
we needed
me. I
that
was like, she
proof.
was on this show.
It was a good time.
Wait,
Now, Eric
who's
was
looking
trying
on?
to say something, and it's very hard to do with all.
Oh, raise your hand.
That's all right.
Raise your hand.
I'm used to that.
Raise your hand.
So
Raise
We
your
all
hand.
are.
the moment kind of passed, so it's not really going to work. But I was going to say
Bring it
that
back.
mom would like to thank them all for getting you out of the house for the last 10 years. So that
Actually, I'm not out of the house.
that's true. Now you're not
It's
anymore.
upstairs.
But
Far enough away.
on a serious note, I'm sure you guys know at Project Independence
Yep.
how important it is to him. But it really has taken on a mind of its own for him and really been a very important part of his life for the last 10 years. And you guys have become an important part of his life too. So
We hear
I
about you
just
guys
wanted
all
to
the
thank
time.
you for
We
that.
always say we should put Otto on the payroll for Project Independence at this point, because
great
he's
big
my,
house.
you know, when I started with the program, I was just a baby myself. I was, you know, an intern, and it was
There's Tan.
2009. And, you know, Otto was one of the first people I met, and I loved him instantly. And he's just really grown with the program. He's my go-to. I think Beck can say this too. You know, if there's any time we're like, oh, we need someone, it's Otto. You know, he's our kind of our spokesperson. I mean, him and Bunny are on the brochure. They are.
That's true.
The face of
I've
Project.
gotten multiple text messages from my friends when they find them at their parents' house with my
Yeah.
picture.
Right.
my
It's
parents'
like,
picture
where's
on it.
Otto and Bunny? You know,
Yeah.
they pop up. So they are the stars of our program. And
Now, there's a guy snuck in the lower right corner.
You guys.
Dan Cox.
Oh,
who's been-
you know,
who's been
if you could
involved.
see what Otto does to me every week during the breaks, he oftentimes makes my life a little more difficult than it should be. But that being said, knowing him for the last 9-10 years has been an honor and a privilege, because
Aw.
I often say to my friends, I want to grow up to be Otto Lohse. And they say, who the hell is Otto Lohse? And I say, well, if you met Otto Lohse, you'd want to be him too. So
that's kind of our
despite-
slogan over here. When I grow up, I want to be Otto.
Well, when I grow up, I want to be Otto Lohse.
despite the weekly harassment, he's a member of this family, and this family is very important to me too. When the pandemic started, I actually called Kristina and said, if you're going to get a co-host, let's get one that knows what he's doing and can actually use technology well. And Otto was the first person to come to mind. So,
And then we never let him go. You know, he didn't know what he was signing up for. He's like, oh, I'm going to need Otto to do this on
and he
Zoom.
says, I got to go golfing. I got to go bowling. No, you don't. You have to do a radio show.
Oh, we got another comer in the show there by Jen. My son-in-law, Bill, married to
Yes.
Jen.
Yes, that's my husband.
And Milo.
And his grand dog,
Yeah.
Milo.
Milo.
Milo's
The dog
making his
coming
first
for you.
appearance on television.
Yeah.
And Milo can jump about 8 feet high if you come in the house.
Wow. Well, I got to get back to work,
behalf of,
Otto. Happy birthday, my friend.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Bye, Dan.
Thank
I
you.
want to just also say, I feel confident I could also speak, Kristina, for the rest of our team. You know, Paula Yule, who has been with Project Independence also since day one. She actually came over with a different agency with FEGS and then was hired by the town, who I know just adores Otto. And, you know, we consider you know, Otto one of the Project Independence ladies, if you must know.
How do you feel about that, Otto?
I'm very
you know.
fortunate to be with all the people that are on the screen. And I'm very fortunate to have gotten involved with Project Independence. I said it right from the beginning. The people who run and started the whole thing, your mother, Evelyn, and Madge Kaplan, were
Right.
two people who were very, very high
Yeah.
on my respect list. And I went to the initial meeting, and they convinced me instantly that they were sincere about what they were doing. It was a non-political venture, and it still is.
Right.
And that's what makes Project Independence as great a program. I think you said there were like 280,000 service calls, round number, since this program started. That's unbelievable. I mean,
That
that's
is
a
a
lot of
lot.
people getting helped in many, many ways. And, it's not like there's an army behind this whole thing. There's like a half a dozen people. And, you make it work, and it's because of your sincerity and enthusiasm and just, you guys are all great. So
well, this is why we keep Otto around. I want you all, this whole family to know now.
I always tell him that he's famous because when I was just starting school, I was interning at Meals on Wheels, and they were handing out pamphlets. And it was the pamphlet when my grandparents were both watering their flowers on the front lawn. And
plastic flowers, by the way.
Yeah,
plastic flowers.
And it was all, they were handing them out, and I was like, those are my grandparents. Like, I had no idea this was going on. They never told us they were doing a photo shoot that was going to be on this flyer. And then now I'm working at EAC Network, as case manager for Meals on Wheels. And, as second I started, like, it was my first day, they're like, how are your grandparents? Like, it's always, everyone always knows.
Well, I had a Girl Scout thing, and Judy Bosworth was there. So this was like, before COVID. So I said, I'm going to go over and just say hello and introduce myself. And when I told her who my dad was, she was like, oh my God.
I love it.
Yeah, he's the best, blah, blah, blah. So he's definitely famous. He's definitely famous.
And it's not just his, lovely personality and ease to be around, but he happens also to be brilliant. And his perspective is
I'm gonna have to look at
it. Don't start.
To you, buddy. But
he's sitting up a little taller.
His perspective on, every topic we discuss, he always, I know we talk about this nugget, Kristina always says, there's always something, or sometimes more than one thing. It's just, oh yeah, he's right. And how can we improve it? I mean, it's like a very progressive perspective. And, I think it's helped me. I'm sure it's helped other people kind of look at things from a different perspective, not just kind of, okay, like towing the line, this is the regular thing. But, Otto always comes up with these really interesting and true perspectives that, help us. And it's helped me kind of take a different look from a different angle at some of the things we do, and not kind of, just had that one view. So that's it. I'm not saying anything else nice about Otto. It's all about Bunny now.
Listen, Bunny.
I'm not sure they'll all agree with you as far as that goes.
They're lucky to have. They're kind of the pair, and I laugh. When Dan was saying that he just randomly says, "I want to be Otto." I mean, I talk about Otto and Bunny. My whole friend group, my whole friend group has met them too, because there's been social events that they've had the pleasure of meeting them. But they are two people I talk about constantly to all my friends. And I'm going to start getting emotional. I'm laughing, and this is the erraticness of Kristina. We'll start crying at any moment. But just having
By the
both
way,
of you.
my family did not see this yet.
Oh, the present, his birthday
This was
present I
from
gave him.
Kristina yesterday.
It's a golf towel.
It's a golf towel
So awesome.
for the Wayward Boys Club.
Yeah.
That's right. And listen, if the rest of the boys want, you can give my number for a small cost. I'll live it.
That would
But
be
when
quite a
Otto
show.
told me, when he shared that name with me, I was I'll never forget it. I was sitting here and I had it saved in my phone forever, because I was like, this possibly is the greatest group
That's
I've
the
ever heard of.
best. Yeah.
And I love the story of it.
Eric has actually been to one of the Wayward Boys Club's outings
Oh, wow.
Do
You got
tell,
into the top
do tell,
secret
Eric.
group
a
over
long
there.
time ago, actually.
I was probably in my early 20s, I think.
Yeah.
So,
We-
So great.
so about 2 years ago.
Well, let's change the
Code
light,
of
Eric.
silence?
Now we
What's
go
the
to bed at
story?
9:30.
You've already been called out. Everyone knows you're 50, okay?
I know.
Yeah, well, we
But
used
it's,
to, when I
great.
first started going there in 1962, I was a touch younger, and we had 50 people. We had 2 boats of 25, and all young and dumb, and we'd go to Greenport, Long Island, and fish. First day we golf, then we have a huge lobster dinner, and a couple of beverages. And that sometimes would lead us to being up to like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And then the next morning go fishing at 6:30, which was never a good thing. But now it's changed a lot. We go to bed at 9:30 and we get up. So when Eric was there, he was there in the middle stage.
Yeah.
We didn't go to bed that late then either.
No, it wasn't that late. It was a little later than 9:30, but not quite.
Yeah. So it was good. So
Yeah, it
anyhow, this is quite a surprise you put together here. So
Yes,
thank you.
Otto. It was killing me, because Otto's he's so prepared. He's like, all right, the next segment, we're going to talk about all these upcoming events. And I was like, little do you know who's in the waiting room right now.
Michelle, I have a question for you while you're on.
Yes.
It looked like Rob is coming Sunday.
Yes, now he is.
Yeah, okay.
Basically,
'cause
he's saying you messed up his entire spreadsheet because he didn't have
Oh, no.
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, you better update your Excel. Update your Excel spreadsheet.
I hope this Lohse family is aware that we are on the radio and everyone we're going to be getting calls through and wanting to know how they get to this big party at
Well, I think we have one more person that just wants to come in really fast.
Oh yes,
we
we're
have
going
to
to take a break and we'll bring them in.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Oh, hello.
We'll be right back after taking a quick break with the Otto Lohse family birthday celebration. We'll be right back.
Take WCWP with you wherever you go with the WCWP app. Listen live 24/7 to all of our streams, all from one app. Plus, call the studios directly from the app and visit our social media. Download the app through the iOS App Store on Apple devices or the Google Play Store on Android by searching WCWP Radio, or visit WCWP.org for links. The WCWP app, available now on iOS and Android devices.
Hello and welcome back to Project Independence and You, Community Talk Radio, over here at 88.1 FM, WCWP.org. We are sharing lots of laughs on this beautiful day, celebrating our favorite co-host, Otto Lohse, who just turned 85, who really, I always say, has proved that age is literally nothing but a number. He's got more stamina than some of my younger friends, I must say. So if anyone ever says they're tired of my friend group, I'm like, you should see what Otto's week has left. So. But we have a bunch of members of his lovely family who the town of North Hempstead knows as the real life Brady Bunch family. We like to refer to them as. So we decided this last segment, we want to go around and just, I'll ask everyone your favorite memory with Otto, whatever it might be.
Before you do that,
yes, go ahead, Otto.
we got one addition there in the corner. Matt, you muted.
We do. We have Matt.
Matt is our oldest.
Welcome to the crazy. We have a whole bunch. This is the most, I think, the world record of Zoom boxes we've had on the radio show.
Well, Matt is our oldest grandson, and he now lives in Denver, Colorado. And it's great to see you.
Yeah,
I had text messages back and forth with Matt. We were both sleeping at the time.
I love it. So let's go around. I'm going to go on my first thing. So Beck, what is a favorite memory you have with Otto over the years over at Project Independence?
Oh my gosh. One of the gifts that you get with being with Project Independence so long is that, he's a Project Independence original member and volunteer, but he's a dear friend, and he is a friend to my mom and Kristina. And I don't know if you all know, but we used to, before COVID, meet at restaurants and go out to dinner and kind of explore some of the things in North Hempstead with Otto and Bunny. I don't know. I just adored it. The conversations, always wonderful. And those are my favorite moments. And also my favorite thing about Otto is, like Kristina was saying, whenever we ask him, I'm like, oh, God, we really could use a really strong Project Independence representative or an ambassador. Otto, of course, he'll do it. He'll rearrange his schedule, and he's always there for us. So it's just the whole package is wonderful. Happy birthday, Otto.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Perfectly said. And then we have Jen, his granddaughter, my little collaborator on organizing this.
Favorite memory. I don't know if I could pinpoint a specific one, but I would just say that, I posted yesterday on Facebook, which I think you saw because now we became Facebook friends, is that he is the life of the party. Like, you think you're coming in and all the grandkids are in their 20s and they're fun, and he's the one dancing. He's the one making everyone laugh. He's the one acting like the biggest child at the same time. And without that, I think our family would be a lot different. And like I said, he's a motivator, a big supporter. Also, he nags like it's his full-time job. So, but it's always your best interest at mind. And the second I know he's calling or texting, it's like you guys said, he's a critical thinker, and it's something that popped into his head, or he's sharing an article. And, now that I'm working in the field with seniors, we go back and forth a lot between different topics and, what we found, and he helps me out a lot with that. So and I always tell people, like my friends, everyone knows him. Like, he got over 100 likes on the Facebook post. He got comments. Like, there were people commenting happy birthday from like kids that I went to high school with. I'm like, okay, grandpa, like who are these people? So I think that, everyone knows him and loves him. And
Remember, we did a performance in front of all your.
Oh my gosh. Well, grandpa, now you just brought up a memory that I obviously.
That was going to be mine.
Oh. Well, then I'll let you have it, Mom.
Yes, we'll hold that in suspense. Well, we could hop over to Jen, her mother, Jen's mom, Jen, and she'll share the memory.
So when Daniel and Jen were in middle school.
No, fifth grade.
Oh, right. So it's elementary school. We're on a time. My parents were very involved with them and the school, and they always volunteered bingo. He would call the numbers out. And one time there was a talent show. So we decided to do a talent show in front of the whole school. And we were in our pajamas up on the stage with a mattress. And we were all singing Zippity Doo-Dah, like marching around. But first we were sleeping. We pretended
I have
we
the
were
video. I'll have to get the video.
Yes, I said someone has to have this video somewhere.
Yes.
The sad part is that we actually had rehearsals. Like, for weeks before, we would go to my grandparents' house and we would march around the house and practice this. And I was actually in my pajamas with my grandpa, laying on a stage in fifth grade with like noses. Like, we had like fake noses on. We had like kazoos. Like, thank God, and no one remembers that. So hopefully no one from my friend group.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, but the way we did it, though, by the way, is we would go zippity doo dah, zippity a, my oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine heading my way, zippity doo dah, zippity a. And we were doing it in a very down.
Yeah.
And he's showing his acting chops. I think
Yes.
to really get this might be his like casting call over here.
Yep. That's exactly how it happened.
Yes, it was. And everybody loved it.
I need this video. So I at some point I need to really get my hands on this video.
We'll have it in an hour.
Oh, Bill had the video.
Bill has it.
No, he had it.
I've been using it as blackmail.
That was the time.
I love it. Now, Cindy, since you are next to Jen, do you have a favorite memory you want to share?
I don't know if you've ever seen this side of our dad, but he is extremely competitive. To the point where sometimes he breaks the rules or bends the rules. Or changes the rules to suit him.
Always in fun.
Am I right, everyone? Am I right?
Completely.
Yeah.
Yes. Uber competitive.
He's like the ultimate. So those are things I remember from a really long time ago. Recently. What?
Yeah.
Now Kisco. He does. He changes the rules sometimes. And he's very competitive, but there's too many things, but that is one thing. And another thing is he was talking about a kazoo. He used to have these construction helmets with the kazoo connected to it with a megaphone. And we all had one. And for the longest time.
Cindy, I cut the wire.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think I still have mine. Actually somewhere. And so that's a big memory for me, is just being in many different random places playing a kazoo.
Well, there's a story behind that because I used to, in business, always had a kazoo with me. And when we went
Yes.
to Germany, I had a kazoo.
Naturally.
And we would play the kazoo and sing
course you
songs
did.
and whatever. But the kazoo helmet, there was a customer of mine
Yeah.
who actually created that thing. And I thought it was a pretty slick idea. So he gave me a couple. And we were doing a trade show in San Francisco. And we actually marched all around the street in San Francisco with these kazoo helmets and with the speaker going into it. But there were kazoo bands. So we thought there was a market for the kazoo band to have one of these. This is the guy I'm still working for now, Ellenby. That was a product he created back then.
I love it. That's another. All right, so I also want a photo of this. I mean, we could do like a whole segment where we just put all these photos together because these are some real gems. I know, and I've always loved. That was another thing I loved about Otto was he talked about a kazoo a lot when I first met him and all the things he could do, and I really loved that. I think I gave you a kazoo once too over the years. I think that was one of our.
You did. I have it.
Now we'll go over to Eric. Eric, what's one of your favorite fond memories? Oh, Eric, you're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Gary's back.
All right. How about that?
That's it.
Okay. No wonder why nobody was listening to me while I was commenting.
Oh my
So I learned my Zoom skills from Matt. So, like everybody else said, it's kind of hard to pick just one, but definitely golfing. We used to golf a lot when I was in my late teens, early 20s, because I had a lot of free time, and we used to golf on weekends a lot. I will say that at that time, I was the one getting in at 5:30 in the morning for a 6 a.m. tee time, and it usually led to frustration for him because I would take a half-hour nap on the couch, and he would come down and get me and drag me out of the house. So, but those are great memories. I have one particular memory that always stood out to me for some reason. I was probably about 4 or 5 years old, and I remembered running errands with him and sitting on the back of the station wagon tailgate outside Manhasset Deli, behind the deli, eating a bologna sandwich in the parking lot near Nassau stores. It's just, it was like one of those times when you're alone with your dad. It was one of those fun things, and it's a memory I always have. So
that's so cute.
I love it. It's so cute. And now we'll go to the Bernadette Square. We have two Bernadettes side by side.
The Bernadette
He can give us a real jerk.
The best memory was planting those flowers, and then I realized they were plastic.
Oh my God.
It's on the cover of all the magazines. Nobody knows.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that. I learned, you learned it here first. That was the first I heard of that too.
Well, now everyone knows.
Yeah.
They were perfect flowers.
Oh, that's right. It's the radio.
Go ahead. Bernadette, is there anything else you guys want to share?
Yeah, I love watching Dad, Eric, and Opa compete eating the pile of kale and pinklewurst at my grandma's. Who could pile it higher and who could get it done,
Yeah.
Also, anytime there's a microphone, Dad's got to have the microphone.
Yeah.
I love it.
I have a new favorite memory. Mine was the speech.
No, you went already. You went already. Bill didn't go.
The speech he gave at my graduation party. That was it. I have a video of that.
There's only so much time,
my
right?
favorite memory.
Oh, I'm sure.
Still have 3 more.
Contest. More importantly, I've heard about this kale concoction Otto has shared on the radio show.
That's what it is. It's a concoction.
So you've had kale and pinklewurst.
I'd try it. I told him, I would certainly give it a go. I like kale. I'll try it out.
This is not like kale, like it. Trust me.
No, it's not like a kale salad.
No.
Kale has been disintegrated and it's dead.
Well, now we will shoot over to Michelle. Michelle, share your favorite Otto memory.
Well, getting back to Dad being the life of the party, when I got married at my wedding, he, of course, was the life of the party with tying the napkins on the head. Everybody had, Dad, I think at your table with Jerry, tied the napkin on your head. There were spoons on the nose.
Yes.
So it was a good time, and everybody loves a picture of a bride with a spoon on her nose. So we got that one.
Oh my God!
All thanks to Dad, started with the napkins on the head. Very funny.
Clearly, Otto likes a good costume. I'm coming up with like a theme. There's always like a prop or some kind of costume, involved, which I can totally appreciate.
He loves to put things on his head or people's faces.
Yes.
What covers my head?
And like Jennifer said about the microphone, if there's something attached to a speaker, that he wants to be part of it. So.
It all makes sense now why he agrees to do this every Friday.
Yes.
I love it. So then, Matt, share one of your favorite Otto moments.
Sure. I want to pay homage to he was the first person to ever take me on hikes, Alley Pond Park, Christopher Morley, things like that. But my favorite memory is sitting in his car, and he used to have this tape deck of imponderables, and it was basically just someone talking for hours on end about like, where do flies go in the winter, or why do people like toilet paper over the top as opposed to around the back?
He talks about that all the time.
Yeah.
That's actually a very common conversation.
Every family party, he would like poll everyone like, how do you like your toilet paper, over the top or around? It started like a whole very curious guy, and it instilled it in everyone else in the family too.
We had one we discussed on here about chickens and eggs, birds.
We've
and
had
eggs.
like a lot of, like these light.
How do you know if there's a chicken in there, or there's no chicken in there that you should eat it or not eat it?
So Kristina, what about you? You don't hide it that you adore Otto beyond. So I'm sure you have a few moments.
I do. Well,
memories.
I laugh with my friends because I say, I've never felt so similar to a person, and it's an 85-year-old man who really is. I feel like we have so many similarities, in so many ways. The two of us always love a good bullet list. Organization is kind of our favorite thing that we share together, and I'm always impressed with Otto's. I learn something new from him every week, and I've never seen someone who is so well thought out and organized. And I have to say, he loves all of you guys. He's constantly talking about you and his family. And I like the newsletter. I hope the family newsletter is going well. He sent me a copy of the family newsletter, and I think it's just the bond you guys all have is amazing. So I like to think of myself as, like an extended family member, and I'm going to have to show up at one of these Jets tailgates. We said, Jan and I said we were crashing, so we'll be popping over.
Hey, you're welcome Sunday.
Sunday.
That's right. But I've shared so many moments with him, especially obviously on the show. I've cried with this man. I've laughed. We've, especially during this crazy COVID world time, it's been my therapy to spend Fridays, Otto, with you and kind of work through our feelings. We forget a lot of times we're on the air. So, hopefully, and then we're like, oh my God, we're just pouring out everything, talking about random thoughts that, like the toilet paper question has come up more than I'd like to admit on this show. We're always wondering, well, what do you do? What would you do? And there's been so many, Otto, of those moments where we try to think like, well, how would you do this? What would you do here? But we have shared in person so many fun times too. I have had the pleasure of actually sharing a microphone with Otto, belting out Sweet Caroline at a project Independence event. So I feel very honored to have shared, the mic with him and singing that. And I feel like there might have been like 5 people sitting there watching us at the time. It was kind of like winding down, but that didn't stop us from singing Sweet Caroline. So there's Otto. You are obviously, how much I adore you. And I said, if we could have, if all of our members of Project Independence could be like Otto and Bunny, it would make life a lot easier for the Project Independence staff, because you guys are just shining examples of amazing seniors in this town. And I'm not going to cry. I feel it coming. I cried last week, trying to get through this show.
We're going to have to leave you in the will.
Sorry, guys.
I didn't hear Bill yet, my husband.
Oh, Bill, that's right. He was just talking about the blackmail tape he has in the back.
Oh yeah, you're good.
But Bill, come on in. Join us. Join the party.
I have so many memories that everybody's already brought up. Just he really, from the moment I met him, he just felt like dad. He just, I just feel so comfortable around him. and just crazy stuff that like 6 degrees of Otto Lohse, because after I got married, I found out something very strange, that my first wife's mother was Otto's secretary for years.
That is so cool. Unfortunately, we are coming to an end, and I just want to, Otto, we wanted to hear one of your own favorite stories, but we can do that next segment. I'm sure John is also wishing you a super happy birthday, and would probably miss this dearly. You know that he loves you dearly. Thank you for joining us on the Otto Lohse birthday roast. A beautiful family, and we will be back next week with Project Independence in You on 88.1 FM, WCWP.org. Have a wonderful weekend and happy birthday, Otto.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Yay.